All right, welcome to ranking every single Super Bowl 60 commercial. It was a very disappointing year because everything's disappointing nowadays, but here we go. Now, it's hard to classify what counts as a commercial because I watched this on NBC, which means they were pushing Peacock shows the entire time, and also a bunch of AI companies were clearly the highest bidders. And honestly, there wasn't a lot of fun ones. There is a few, and I'll give them credit at the top of the list. But because of that, here's a few rules. If it's a network promo, it doesn't count. So Peacock, NFL, there's a few good NFL ones. The Peacock ones were funny. I'll give a shout out to the Reggie Dinkins series because that looks kind of funny. Unfortunately, it is a network promo. I'm not counting it. So you won't see those in here. If a company got multiple commercials, I will take what I consider to be the better of the two. But you don't get two. That's cheating. And I'm looking at you. Toyota, Meta, Lay's. I think a few others did it too. GenSpark played the exact same ad twice. Come on. Any sports betting ads don't count. It's hard to consider Sportsbook and FanDuel commercials because they're so deeply integrated with the game now. Another rule is if I have seen the commercial before the day of the Super Bowl, it doesn't count. Make a new ad, you freaks. Any commercial redirecting you to an online trailer will only be judged by what was broadcasted. I realize that I'm continuing to do free advertising for these companies by making this video, but that's just how life is in late-stage capitalism. Let's get started. All the way at the bottom at 59, Coinbase. What was this? Am I supposed to be singing this right now as if I know this song?
I think so.
My eyes hurt.
Am I original?
Is this just a karaoke break?
What
is this?
Is this an actual commercial?
I'm thinking it's like the diaper commercial last year where they just said, "Hey, go take a bathroom break." Why is it a crypto commercial? You see a lot of commercials where they're like, "We're gonna take the lyrics of the songs, we're gonna make a parody of it, we're gonna change some lyrics." They did that. They barely did that to the song, and then they just put lyrics on a screen, and then they were like, "Hey, we're Coinbase," and I'm like, that. There was no effort. It was so lazy. And it made me mad. We're off to a fantastic start. Coming at number 58, AI.com. What? I swear this was a threat, right? Did anybody else get that vibe? This was literally just a threat. This commercial sounds like a threat. AGI is coming. You better get on our side now. Get your domain now, or you're going to be left behind. It wasn't fun. It wasn't cool. It wasn't even heartfelt like some of the other AI commercials try to be. It was just straight up a threat. Coming up next, we have OpenAI. A school? MIT?
Oh, LASIK surgery.
Oh, it's OpenAI. God.
Oh my god.
You can't keep pretending to be a humanitarian effort every single year. There's so many AI commercials in this broadcast, and this is just the beginning. Wix Harmony. I don't know why I put it this low, but I mean, there was nothing here to look at. Okay, so Meta has something over GenSpark in which they had two commercials, but at least the two commercials were slightly different, although they were basically the same. Even if it wasn't AI and Meta, it would still just be a very generic, look at what we do, and that was it. And then also, while everybody was watching the halftime show, we jumped right into this. Excuse me? Svedka? Oh no! You're making it bad now. What is this?
No, oh, gross. Ew, creepy. No.
What? It tried to be weird in a good way, and then it ended up being weird in a I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from this way. I don't know what the commercial was about. I don't know why they were using AI. I don't even know if this was AI generated. It sure looks like that, but I don't know what the messaging was. I was so confused. At least the other AI commercials, at least with AI.com, I know they're threatening me. With Svedka, I have no idea what they were trying to get across. Okay? Anyway, GenSpark, more AI. And normally I'd place this higher because it was better than the other AI commercials, but they did pay for 2 commercial slots and they put the same commercial in twice. Come on. If you're going to pay for 2, you have the money to make another ad. Give me a break here. WeatherTech, this is number 52. I don't know what to say. Okay, it was just, they demonstrated their product. It wasn't AI, but it was just kind of there. Number 51, Kinder, and their explicit use of AI it just felt very lazy, and also like the commercial was already kind of nothing, and then they had like a whole AI sequence, like a multiverse looking thing. Gemini. Yeah, it's the same story we've heard for the last 2 years from Gemini. They're trying to present themselves as a family effort, and it just, like, none of these companies know what they want from their products. They don't know how they want people using it, and it's just all so dumb. And I'm really hoping that like 3 years from now that we're not going to have any of these in the Super Bowl, but who's to say what's going to happen? Here's a normal commercial. It was a trailer for Disclosure Day. I didn't really care. I don't remember much about it, so it's getting put all the way down here. It was whatever. And right back into AI. Right back into AI. So this was an ad from Claude. Like their whole thing was like, hey, we're an AI company. We're not going to show you ads like a certain somebody, OpenAI. But like having better smelling poop than OpenAI doesn't mean I want to eat it now. Hey, let's just go into 2 very generic car commercials. Toyota had 2 commercials. I don't even remember which one I took. Doesn't matter. And then Volkswagen, they were just generic car commercials, like just images of culture and pop and youth and whatever and family, and that was it. This is the kind of commercial that would have been ranked last like 10 years ago, but unfortunately now we have a bunch of other things contending with it, so it gets to be a little bit higher. Lay's got 2 commercials. They're both just very much the same, like country life, hard work, labor, America. It's the same thing as like the Volkswagen and Toyota commercials. I have nothing against it, besides the fact that they ordered 2 ad slots. At least they made 2 different commercials, though. Again, GenSpark. What the heck? And this was one of the last commercials of the broadcast. It was from, Base 44. It was very generic and whatever. Also, I wasn't paying attention because this was like right after the threat from AI.com that we got earlier. So I wasn't really paying attention. And yeah, that's all I got. Hey, look, it's a minion. Is it a minion? Weirdly enough, I kind of miss these little freaks.
Haven't been relevant in 10 years. Look at him go.
I actually kind of miss having them be the slop online. So yeah, I mean, there was nothing here really to rank. I did like seeing a little minion. I like seeing a little guy going banana and illumination. That was fun. But I mean, the entire trailer they were advertising was not part of this, so it doesn't get ranked on that. Next we got Nerds Gummies. It was very Cartoon Network coded. I was like, whatever. Here's a Ring. No, this is not Ring. Sorry, this is Redfin. I mean, it was it was sweet commercial. You'll see a lot of like sweet Heartfelt commercials in here. They're not going to get ranked as highly, but I'll give it up. It's fine for what it is. Universal Parks, another Heartfelt one. Whatever. YouTube TV, it's a meh commercial. I thought it was funny, but it was kind of meh. This one was interesting. This Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, because it was made intentionally, I think, to be like a beer commercial. I'm only putting it this low because I was like, oh, well, that was a bunch of nothing, and also the entire marketing campaign for this movie has been a bunch of nothing, so I don't really care. Ring doorbell. I totally didn't even know this commercial when it got played. So I will just play Hannah's comments on it, and I think that sums it up nicely.
It sounds like something Big Brother would come up with.
All right, and now for what I think was the longest commercial of the broadcast from Wegovy. I don't remember any of this, dude. You know, they placed like a really long medication ad at the end of the broadcast. I was tired. I was just ready for it to be done. So I have nothing to say about this. And it's a Jeff Goldblum ad with apartments and homes.coms, whatever. There's the T-Mobile Backstreet Boys. This one was kind of funny. This was the Michelob Ultra. Oh, he was never there. Okay. I have nothing to say about most of the things in this part of the list. I have nothing to say about. I do have something to say about this one though. TurboTax, the Adrian Brody one. Now, I don't know who Adrian Brody is. And I'm not faulting them for that. And that's on me. That's totally on me. But this definitely does demonstrate the problem with making references for the sake of it instead of it making sense. Because, like, clearly Adrian Brody has a thing about being dramatic. I got that, but it's an inside joke I don't get. It's just a reference for the sake of being a reference, so some people can be like, oh, I get that. And there's going to be a bunch of people like me who don't, and that's fine if you don't understand it. But, like, it's not good advertising in my mind. Anyway, I don't have a marketing degree. I'm just some idiot on the internet. Hims and hers. This was... It gets points for starting off with an anti-wealth gap message. It loses a lot of points for ending with a "give us your data" message. They just did both in the same commercial. Like, the healthcare system in America is so messed up, and they acknowledge that, and then they're like, "So we can help you out if you just give us your health information. We might sell it. I don't know. I don't know much about this company, but that was the vibe I got. So it sits all the way down here, right below Grubhub. Okay."
Who's ordering $50 worth on
Yeah, I was going to
Grubhub?
say, well, as long as you pay us $50, we don't need to worry about fees. The next two are just, these are like, heartfelt ones. And we got the Dove Girls Sports one. I liked it. Stand Up to Jewish Hate. Of course, I love to see that we can have these during the broadcast. But I mean, they're not going to be ranked much higher than this because, there's nothing special to them, but that's not the point of them existing. But anyway, we are now about halfway through, so let's cut to the downfall of America, I guess.
Guys, this is destroying America. How do you feel?
They're going to see this nutso production design and be like, oh no, America, gone.
Sorry, that's un-American because, so far, this is the most interesting halftime show I've seen in a while.
This has been the most child-friendly halftime show I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Oh no, it's a flag of one of the U.S. territories. I feel so threatened.
Yeah, so far, this halftime show has shown hard work and marriage and families sitting together for quality time. That was it. No clothes came off. No.
It was extremely wholesome. I feel cheated. America didn't even get destroyed
Yeah,
once.
what happened? I liked that. That was like the most enjoyable
That was
halftime
nice.
show I've seen in like 10 years. You're back. I hope you enjoyed seeing America get torn apart like that. The downfall of America is just, it's coming for us, isn't it? Anyway, Chris Hemsworth time. Speaking of the downfall of America, we have more AI. I mean, this is Alexa, but I mean, it's also Amazon. It's a fun commercial, but like, does Amazon know that they just presented a bunch of concerns about AI and smart homes, and then they just ended with saying, but hey, here's a massage, don't worry about it. Like, you didn't address the concerns, you just put Chris Hemsworth in here and made him do a bunch of funny stuff. The messaging on it was really weird. I don't get it. F1 was right after that. I'll put that at 26. Now we're at 25. We're in the top 25 now. Things are getting better. I'm not going to be screaming angrily about AI for the remainder of the video, I don't think. We got Pokemon here. Trevor Noah was in this. That was kind of fun. But Pokemon, you are aware that everybody knows what Pokemon is, right? Like, you don't... Because, like, this wasn't, like, an ad for, like, a specific product of Pokemon. It was just Pokemon in general. It's like they tried advertising milk. We know what milk is. They did this last year too, I think.
Just a bunch of, like, random close shots on... Oh, that's Bruce Springsteen!
What? What? Did you recognize Bruce Springsteen by his butt? I feel like we see a butt commercial or something like that every year, and it's usually from Levi's, and they did not let us down this year. Anyways, Ritz commercial. I mean, we're in the top 25 now, which means we're in the set of commercials where I'm like, hey, this is like what Super Bowl commercials are supposed to be. And unfortunately, it's like only a third of the commercials that we got. But like, this is one of those commercials where it's like, hey, we're just going to throw a bunch of celebrities at the wall and it's not going to make any sense, but it's okay because people know who Scarlett Johansson is. And, it's fine. I'd say for this top 25, it's going to be like ranking actual Super Bowl commercials and not me complaining about just a bunch of nothing. So it's going to be more fun from now on. Right after this is the Bosch commercial. He's a guy. Oh no.
What?
No, what the heck?
No, what?
Oh, he's guy. Get it? It's the genre
Oh
of
my god.
Super Bowl commercial where they just make puns off of a celebrity's name, which is a classic genre, but it's also very cliche, so I'm putting it towards the bottom of the top 25. All right, after that, we got a Dunkin' Donuts commercial, and we're going to see a bunch of nostalgia bait commercials in this top 25. It was kind of cool that they used deepfake technology to de-age the actors during this, but it also looked really bad. like this still frame of Ted Danson looks fine. The still frame of Jennifer Aniston does not. But when they're talking, it's like their lips are barely moving. So I like the effort they put in for this. It didn't look good. And also, again, it was just like I said earlier, just a bunch of references for the sake of having references. And then next we have Red Bull. I mean, it's pretty generic, but at least it's something. There's a Neil Diamond Hellman's commercial. And I have nothing to say about this. Again, this is a generic Super Bowl commercial. I thought it was funny. They're making a parody, and they didn't just put text on the screen like Coinbase did. Here's some more nostalgia bait from Xfinity. I don't like Xfinity. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep moving on here. This Mike Tyson one. This was like an eat whole food commercial, like eat non-processed foods. And it would have been a lot lower. But then Mike Tyson takes an apple and he bites it and he goes, mmm.
We're the most powerful country in the
I'm
world.
sorry. And it just tickled me. I don't know why. It was so funny. I don't think this was supposed to be a funny commercial, but it got me. And so that's why it's this high on the list. And there's this women's diabetes commercial. Good message. It was fun. Also pretty generic, but it's better than most of the things on this list. He Gets Us. I like the messaging of this commercial. It's just this would be higher if He Gets Us hadn't tainted their brand image a couple of years ago with the stupid feet commercial. Because now every time someone sees that website, they're gonna think of the feet commercial. Number 14, Poppy. Now this was the death of America I was hoping for from the halftime show. What the heck? This is the Super Bowl halftime show that was going to destroy America I was waiting for. It's coming from Poppy, not Bad Bunny. That's the only thoughts I have on this commercial. I think it's funny. This is the, what is this? Bud Light cheese rolling commercial. Oh no, he dropped the beer. There it goes.
No,
Oh, it's like
the
cheese
beer.
rolling except beer. Okay. Now, I don't know what this is. It's a Netflix property. I know that. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Did I miss something? It was really enticing. I'll tell you that, and that's why it's so high on this list, because it was very enticing. I just have no idea what this was for. I have nothing. If somebody out there who's watching this right now knows what this is for, keep it to yourself. I don't care. Next up, we have State Farm's Halfway There. Now, this one gets a high rating because I do like the State Farm halfway insurance promo they're doing right now. I think that's really funny. I think this was a new one for this one. Also, it had Haley Steinfeld in it, so that gets points for me automatically, and it had Keegan-Michael Key in it, which also gives it more points. I'm not immune to the strategy of throwing celebrities at the wall and making a good commercial out of that. All right, we are now in the top 10, and so getting the number 10 spot is Instacart, with just a confusing commercial. Who are these? Why?
What?
That sits right in the tradition of advertisers making just the wackiest what the heck just happened commercial for the Super Bowl, and I love that for them. And that's what's great about this, is I had the impression it was referencing something and I didn't know what it was, but I still got the premise of this commercial, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's good. Speaking of, like I said before, throwing celebrities at a wall and maybe it'll stick, and I'm not immune to that. The Sabrina Carpenter's Pringles commercial. maybe it doesn't deserve to be this high, but like I do like Sabrina Carpenter. Like I'll give it points for that. Coming in at number 8, Uber Eats commercial where he's like, "Hey, sports are based off food. Food and sports are intertwined, man. Look at that Hall of Fame. It's a juicer." I thought it was pretty funny. Although, like I said in my rules, if it is a re-air, it doesn't get to be on here. This one is on thin ice because I'm not fully convinced I didn't already see this during the semifinals games, but I don't remember exactly, so it gets a pass. It gets a pass. This one, Budweiser.
Better freaking not be. It better be beer and not Gemini, please.
I'm rooting for the beer this time.
I mean, it's a Clydesdale horse. It has to be beer, right?
Or what?
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. That's kind of sick, though. Oh, it's a bald eagle.
Not a duck. That's a freaking eagle.
America.
That's kind of sick, actually. Got some Freebird going on. A eagle.
Because the bird.
There.
Oh my
and
gosh.
they made it. They made it real. Budweiser continuing the tradition of not just making a good Super Bowl commercial, but being Budweiser and making a good Super Bowl commercial. Like, this has been a thing for decades, it seems, where Budweiser and, Bud Light, all of them making just good commercials. I liked this one a lot, and I also liked that it went back to the broadcast, and Budweiser had the horse and the bald eagle there ready to go, in person. It was very cool. I just like this. It was really wholesome. Okay, Liquid Death. I don't know what we think about Liquid Death. I heard there was some controversy earlier this year. I don't really know, but exploding heads, that's funny. That's classic Super Bowl energy. I like it. Good job, Liquid Death. And then we're going to go right into another company with liquid in their name, Liquid IV. Look, the toilets need a toilet. That's so funny. They're peeing. The toilet needs a toilet.
It's the opposite of what they're built to do.
Take a look at your pee.
What?
Wait.
Oh my gosh, this is a hydration commercial?
That's really funny. They literally just, hey, hydration reminder. It's just a good commercial. These all tickle me. Except for this next one, because it's regrettably Mr. Beast. Okay, here's the deal. I think this is the most interesting commercial of the entire Super Bowl. But it's Mr. Beast, so it gets points removed. Because, this list means nothing. This list means nothing. I get to do whatever I want. It's all subjective. What a fascinating concept for a commercial. This is an ARG, effectively, and I'm not going to take part of this. There's so much going on here. But that's a cool concept. Getting in with, I think this is Slack and Salesforce as the advertisers, and making a game out of it that's going to last probably many weeks beyond the Super Bowl. I want to keep an eye on this and see what happens. And I'm sure I will be forced to see what happens because YouTube loves forcing every single Mr. Beast video down everybody's throats. So I'm sure I won't miss it. All right, top 3. We have Squarespace with Angry Emma Stone. Okay, Emma.
Emma, we can dial it down a notch here, okay?
It gets points for me for having Emma Stone in it. And, it's funny. It's to the point. It has a unique looking visual style. Maybe, here's the thing about this top 10. They could probably be rearranged and you'd be right. As with, it seems most of my top lists or whatever. But, I have no issues with this being right here. Okay, disregard what I just said because I think this one is definitely deserving of the number 2 spot. I think my number 2 and number 1 spot, they're definitely locked into where they're supposed to be.
You know what these tight ends are so relaxed about?
They're tight
Prostate
ends.
cancer screening.
Oh.
They've learned there's a simple...
I wasn't even wrong.
Roughly 1 in 8 men.
This one is from Novartis, I think. I didn't actually recognize the commercial, but the fact that it is a healthcare company I don't really recognize and they ended up this high on the list speaks to how funny this commercial is. Maybe it's because I caught on to the punchline of the joke a little, not even a couple seconds into the commercial just because I was being stupid. And then it turns out that me being stupid was actually the punchline. It's funny. It's a butt joke. I got pee jokes in my top 10 list. I got butt jokes. I got Sabrina Carpenter in my top 10. What more do you want? And at my number 1, we have to put a Coldplay joke. No, wait, yes, no, it's Pepsi. It's Pepsi.
Wait.
It's okay, it's Pepsi. I'm willing to give Pepsi more points because it's not Coke.
Oh no! Oh no!
Wow.
Bruh.
That's funny.
Bruh, no.
It gets points for that, unfortunately. I love this. This is from Pepsi. This is classic Super Bowl energy. This is all I'm asking for. Is this too much to ask? This is funny. This was hilarious. Look, they're referencing that scandal that happened earlier this year. That's hilarious. That has some amount of balls to do that, and I think that's great. I think this is what Super Bowl commercials should be, which is why it is number 1 on my list. And now we do need to mention some casualties. You might notice that Project Hail Mary wasn't in this list. It's because I don't want to watch any Project Hail Mary trailers because I want to go into that movie blind. So I just walked out of the room when that happened. Wait, no, I can't watch this. No, I want to watch this for the first time in theaters. I'm not rating this one. I'm walking out of the room. I'm sure it was good. I still haven't seen the trailer, but I'm sure it was good. So I'm assuming it would be somewhere in the top 20. Also, you may have noticed, we're talking about Pepsi. We're talking about Budweiser, Bud Light, these institutions of Super Bowl commercials. Where was Doritos? What happened to Doritos? You know, earlier I said if you know about something, just don't let me know. I don't really care. If you know what happened to Doritos, please let me know. I think they got kidnapped and shot out back by the AI companies that were clearly the highest bidders. We need to save Doritos. They usually have very good commercials every year. They had one of the most memorable ones last year. And there wasn't even one this year. What happened? What happened? Let's save Doritos. A multi-million-dollar company. They deserve our help.
It has been a very sad year for commercials.
It's like the same few things. Like, there's not even been a Doritos commercial. Where's my Doritos commercial?
There's always a Doritos commercial.
Where's John Krasinski in Ryan Reynolds in a car commercial?
Yeah.
It's just been AI and medication and commercials I saw last week. Like, it's disappointing.